Okay, so I'm not really sure exactly the story behind it, but I want an 80s theme. 80s is my absolute favorite era of movies on the planet. I want to do something, the classic love story, but then I don't, being in such a small community, I don't really have the access to the characters and the actors. I want to do something along those lines, and I want to do something along those lines. I mean, I love the John Hughes movies. Those are really my favorite movies of all time. But I don't really have a conflict yet, because for me to find a girl and a boy actor in a town that has less than 1,000 people, I mean, branching out, it's so hard to find actors around here. So I guess I could do something on my brother. He's getting into music. Maybe I can start with his, how he started, and then, carrying through, but tell it in a narrative way, show conflicts or whatever. Maybe that's what I'll do. But really present it like an 80s style. That's really what I like, I want something that looks, feels, and the story flows like it came out of something in the 80s, because it wasn't overdone back then, and you weren't slapped full of visual effects. You had a story instead of visually telling it, which you still want to do, but there's a happy medium, what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really get that story broken in. So maybe that's what I'll do, something like that. Maybe it's not a 2-person gig, it's just a single person, almost like a documentary, but it's gotta be narrative. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I know it's not the best pitch. I don't have really a good idea of what I want to do. I have a film in mind. I tried to do it for the last 2 projects ago, and it was a mess. And as far as I know, you can't redo that. If you could, I would, because I know I can make it a lot better now with the equipment I have now, and everything else that comes along with that. So maybe that's a possibility. If the instructor says I can do that, then I would hands down do that. But other than that, I'm still kind of up in the air exactly what I want to pin down and do. And I know I gotta get it soon. If I can redo that project, it consists of a boy and a girl. They were supposed to meet at a high school dance, back in like the 50s. Obviously, period pieces are very expensive to do, so that might have to be changed. But I retrofitted it to a cookout. So, I had some fills and whatnot, people in the background and everything else. But she shows no interest at the beginning. He, just tries to say hi, what's going on. Kind of very similar to 16 Candles. Very similar, as far as the girl has no idea that she's going to end up liking whatever else. And, and then she eventually makes her way back after whatever. But if I was to do that, it would be changed up. It wouldn't consist of, like, I had a theater room in it, which I had access to, but it's not relevant or anything, so it's really not, movies or whatever. If I could find like a period town, which I know there's plenty of them around here, but that's more like 1800s, the buildings, they're super old, they're falling down, whatever else. So I'm still struggling, but if I can't do that, like I said, I'll do the brother one, most likely, unless I can get an actor and tell some kind of story, I guess. Yeah, that's essentially, what I got. I don't have a whole lot to work with. My projects have not been coming out very well, so I'm going to really try to do my best on this one. And using a gimbal, so that'll be sick. Got a new rig on that, so that should really help me as far as getting the shots that I want instead of standing alone at different angles. So try that out.